So I just want to kind of chat about stuff that's not super hot topic anymore, but will still keep coming up, so it's evergreen, I suppose, right? To our modern conversations. But you know that fellow Ben Horowitz, the billionaire, who's Ben Horowitz. Black women. I haven't seen. So it's just that I'm just trying to see if there's like any video of him saying it, or if it's just something that's been my only thing is this, and I'll say it from a perspective of being a black woman who has a history of being with a white man in the past. My daughter's father is white, so I was with him for 10 years, right? My current fella, who I've been with for 2 years, 2.5, well, 2.25, 2 years, he's white as well. And you know, just like with any, I'm taking time. I'm trying to find this darn quote to see exactly what it says. Oh, there, it's right in my face. There it is. There they are. There they are. Meaning there are the words. You know, the thing that kind of stuck out to me when I heard, I don't know if this is the full quote, but a longer version of the quote was that billionaires prefer black women. I'm reading. They are loyal and guard your interests. Black wives are for grown-ups. So I think that the loyal and guard your interests first, to me, it sounds like, is she a pet? Is she a human? Is she the strong black woman? You know? I would like to hear, I guess, more of the quote. Because I'm not sure if it's a compliment. It's what black women do for billionaires. And billionaires, I guess, don't have a race? Or is there inference happening? You know? Billionaires prefer black women. They are loyal and guard your interests. Black wives are for grown-ups. What do billionaire husbands offer black wives? What do grown-ups offer black wives? Yeah, because it just sounds like she's just being still a servant. You know, we're just trading off one servant for another. She's still in, you know, seems to be the best thing that she can do is be a loyal security guard. Yeah. So that's something just to kind of consider when you are considering dating white men or people who think the way that whiteness has taught them to think about black women, right? So, yeah. I'm still at my surgery, so I feel a little, you know, self-conscious about the entire chest situation. So I'll just do this little number here. The other thing to think about, like I said, there'll be family members. So white men from the boomer era all seem to have a black woman fantasy. Yeah, or maybe it's just all white men seem to have a black woman fantasy. And because the way misogyny noir is set up, black women will, no matter what, black femmes, black girls, are going to have to prove that they're not Jezebels, right? Prove that we're not Jezebels, right? When I say they, I mean me, we. And you can extrapolate from that to whatever you like. You know? Let's see. Oh, the one thing I've also noticed as far as like strangers go is that there'll be people who want to put you in your place when they realize, oh, wait a minute, you all are together. I've had people just assume that my sugar daddies. I'm just like, no, not this one, because it's just not, there's no sugar daddying happening, at all, because that's just not reality. But just various ways, because of their assumptions, that they would then have to put you in your place, because again, we're going back to that hierarchy of the caste system, racialized caste system that we have in this country, that all non-black races and even black races in America collude to keep black Americans as the permanent proletariat, the permanent underclass, to feed into the capitalistic machine, right? And so when I'm walking down the street with my white dude, my white fella, I'm an embodiment of leapfrogging the hierarchy. And so that is what that translates to is when I'm out going somewhere, like for example, at the donut shop. This past Sunday at the donut shop I always go to, ran by a nice Chinese family where they changed ownership, and the ownership hired different people. They seem to be Asian too, and they seemed okay. But then I ran into one who decided to go out of her way to I was doing the ordering, but all of her acknowledgement was to him, right, my fella. And then when it came time to pay, she also acknowledged to him how much it was. When I pulled the money in my pocket, 2 20s, it was $26 for donuts and coffee. She makes a big showing of like, oh, and doing all this, no pen in sight. What are you doing? And so I said, oh, you get a lot of fake bills coming through here? Oh yeah. Now she's new. I'm not. I've been coming here for 4 years, every weekend, right? Which I won't be doing anymore. No, thank you. I won't be spending my money in a place that hires people like that. There's too many donut shops around. So there's that on that. But yeah, and that's just one example. Just like kind of like really going on your way. It's Asian women, is Latino women, non-black Latino women, who just really want to let me know that you're not better than me, and in really nasty ways. I'm just like, so it's just me. I'm the only one who's getting this setting. I've had a white woman do it too, but it seems to be a really real weird pattern with like these women. And I have to also say, not a lot of them are not attractive at all. So I don't know, it's just a combination of like, of all those things. No, I'm not to say that I haven't had like semi-attractive women also try to put me in my place, or who are non-black or whatever, but it just seems to be a pattern of like being unattractive and being a non-black woman of color who's just displayed the most like nastiness, like biting. I'm like, you're still in the same spot that you are in. Don't worry, I'm not leapfrogging over you. Us niggas are still at the bottom. You know, we're still exactly where we are. So I'm sure there'll be other white men. You know, if you want, just chill out, okay? Yeah. So that's just like some of the stuff that they don't tell you about when you decide that you're going to be with a white dude. And I would make sure that that white guy is prepared to step in, step up and step in. Otherwise, it's not worth your time at all. Wasting all of our time. If you're a person who doesn't like to be confrontational, because let's face it, white guys don't really have to be unless they're like, you know, Trumpers, I guess. Even then, that's still a choice. Get comfortable with it. Because this, you know, one, you're very insulated, so you don't even understand what any of these things are happening, because everyone's treating you with deference. You know, I liken it to like a ladder of the hierarchy that we live in. And so you're white, straight, male, thin, you know, make a lot of money, you're gonna be at the top rung. You're a white male who's overweight, doesn't make as much money, and you're gonna be in the next ladder. But all those kind of rungs are like nicely oiled, maybe even might have some anti-slip fabric on there. And not only that, but you have other people from the other rungs up kind of clean them and polish them for you, helping you up if you kind of slip down on accident. But as you go further down the rungs get more rickety. They're made of material that just you might have to keep repairing over and over and over and over again. And that will take away your resources. You have, instead of having people who are keeping your rung nice and cozy and tip-top shape, you actually have people who are throwing shit on top of your rung, and sometimes even kicking your rung out of its spot. So you have to keep, you know, restarting over and over and over again. That's how I liken it to that. And black women, guess where we are? We're right there. And guess where black trans women are? Even further down the rung, you know. And all these other groups, they're making sure that this rung is nicely lit, well varnished, smells good and nice, and the ladders down here collect all the shit that they don't want to be subjected to anymore or ever. So that embodiment does show up when you're walking down the street. When you're at home, you gotta have these conversations, and they're gonna be conversations that you might not want to have. But if that person cares enough about you, then they'll have those conversations with you, and they'll honor the importance that you are bringing, or that you have become in their lives too. You know.